All right, we are now at Research Unit Packet video number 4, and we're going to pick up right where video number 3 left off. We are halfway through page number 5 in the white packet, and we're going to continue looking for notes from source number 2. Now I'm going to keep scrolling through source number 2, and I'm looking for what I highlighted that I thought would help answer the research question. Our research question being if distance learning was basically a good way to learn or not during the pandemic. So here I am on page 5 of source number 2, and I saw another piece of information that I thought helped answer the question. So here's a student who says, it feels like there's more pressure to want to stay silent, and even if you do ask for help, most questions are not fully answered due to the lack of the in-person and hands-on experience. So this was Irene Koo, and this looks like another opinion. Again, it's her viewpoint. It's not a fact because there might be people who disagree with this, who did not feel like they had to stay silent or felt like they were fine getting their questions answered. So, since this piece of information is an opinion, when we put it into our notes, just like we've done with all the others, it's going to go in as a quotation. Again, opinions get quoted so that we don't accidentally change them. So it'll be a quotation. It was from page 5 of our article. And now I am going to copy word for word what was in the article. All right, now you might need to pause the video so that you can copy the note in as well. But we have our third note now on page 5, our opinion from Irene. And I quoted it word for word from the article. And because it's somebody else's words, I put quotation marks around it. Again, these quotation marks keep me from plagiarizing because they show that this is somebody else's words. And I also said whose words they were. I added Irene's name because to avoid plagiarism, I have to give credit to who said or wrote the words. We've got room for one more note from our article, source number 2. So I'm going to keep scrolling. It looks like on page 6, I found another piece of information that goes back to my research question. This time, we have a student named Catherine who said, I feel that I'm not getting as much work done and have fewer resources around me. All right, so there's another piece of information that suggests in this case that maybe distance learning is not the best way. It is an opinion because it's not something that everyone's going to agree with. It is Catherine's point of view. Other students might feel like they did get all their work done and they did have enough resources. Again, it's only a fact if it can be 100% proven as absolutely true. And this is only one person's viewpoint, not everybody's. Because it is an opinion, we're going to do the same thing we have for our other 3 notes. We are going to copy that opinion word for word into this box. We're going to put quotation marks around it, and we're going to include who these words belong to. All right, make sure you pause the video so that you can copy your own information into that 4th box. And it was a quotation note because we always put opinions into quotations. And this one came from page 6 of our article, which was source number 2. Now, I could keep going with this article. It is full of thoughts and opinions about distance learning. And if I were writing a real research paper, I would keep going and I would keep collecting notes. But we're going to just take a shortcut and move on from here. Now, there's one last thing we need to do. We need to complete the parenthetical citation. We only need this for quotation notes. So if any of these had been fact notes, we would be able to cross that out. However, all of the notes from this source were quotation notes. They were all opinions that we had to turn into quotations. Our parenthetical citation comes from that first page. Right here in a box, we decided that our parenthetical citation was mascaro, which was the first word we used up here. So this is what I'm going to put for my parenthetical citation for all 4 of these notes. All right, now I have my parenthetical citations as well. It was the same for all of these because they all came from the same source. And basically, if I were using these in my paper, the reader could clearly see whenever they saw this parenthetical citation, they would know that that information was a direct match to my source number 2. And they can see that I did not plagiarize any of this information. I not only copied it word for word and put it in quotation marks to show that I was borrowing it, I said who originally said the words, and my parenthetical citation points out what source it came from. So I'm being very responsible in lining up where every bit of information came from so it does not look like I am stealing information or trying to claim that it is my own. Tomorrow, make sure you bring all of these packets with you to class. We'll look at the 3rd and final article, and we're going to fill out the rest of the packet. Please remember that these packets, the white packet, will be turned in when we're done. So make sure that it is fully complete so you can get credit for this week's work.